Sales Tax Oversight Committee meeting today, being held electronically on Thursday, May 21st at 2 p.m. Andrea, do you have a statement to read?
Yes, today the Public Safety Sales Tax Oversight Committee is meeting via electronic means, specifically through Zoom. To prevent the spread of COVID-19, the Center for Disease Control strongly advises against meetings larger than 10 people. Due to the size of the Public Safety Sales Tax Oversight Committee, the meeting today is being conducted electronically. We welcome the members of the public who are observing and attending this meeting via the link provided in the agenda.
Thank you so much. One of the things that we didn't do before, Carolyn, before I send this over to Carolyn Allen, is I wanted to welcome Marcia Vest. She's new to this committee this year. The prior member rolled off, and so Marcia's joining us now, and just wanted to make that introduction. The majority of this committee had met one another previously, and so Marcia's new. So welcome, Marcia. We're glad that you're able to join us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. As this committee will recall, at the last meeting, we went over a summary of the reports for the last year, for the first year of the public safety sales tax. Everyone was to look at those reports and reply to Carolyn Allen, who graciously volunteered to pull the report together. So Carolyn, having had hopefully an opportunity to review the information, do you have a report or information for the committee this afternoon?
Yes, I do. I would like to thank Jane Hall, Marcia Vest, Martha Frazier, and myself are the only ones that responded after our last meeting. Everybody on the committee was supposed to send their insight based on everything that we discussed, and I was going to put together a report based on that. But since the four of us are the only ones that took the time to email me back based on the information that I received from the four of us, is how I put the report together, because it was the only information that we had. Okay. So I did put a report together, which time it is included in the packet, but I will go ahead and read it real quickly. It's the annual report. The Public Safety Sales Tax Oversight Committee was formed after the citizens of Belton, Missouri passed a half-cent sales tax increase in 2018. This tax became effective April 1st, 2019. The ballot, which is attached in your in the packet that you received. This sales tax increase is to be used 50-50 for the Belton Fire Department and the Belton Police Department. The PSST committee met twice during the year, October of 2019 and May of 2020. During the time between meetings, the committee was kept informed by email of all expenditures. At any time between meetings, we were able to reply with any questions of expenditures. During the meetings, we were presented with all revenues and expenditures. We also received a complete breakdown of these revenues and expenditures as how each was applied to the Belton Police Department and the Belton Fire Department. Included is a copy of the annual revenues and expenditures for both departments. The second meeting, held on Thursday, May 7th, was for the year ending March 31st, 2020. After the conclusion of that meeting, the following determinations were made. Revenues. It was agreed by the committee that all revenues were received or allocated in accordance with PSST ballot language. Expenditures. It was agreed that by the committee that all expenditures were dispersed in accordance with PSST ballot language and budgetary accounting standards. Summary of public status review. It was agreed by the PSST committee that it meets all objectives. The committee lists the following condition to monitor. It is agreed the COVID-19 pandemic may impact PSST as it relates to the 2021 and future budget years. It is agreed that the committee advises continuation of related monthly reports from the city's finance department, meeting again in October as outlined at the first meeting in October of 2019 to review the effect, if any, of economic trends that may impact the PSST. And that's the conclusion of the report.
So at this time, I think what would be, but Carolyn, thank you so much. At this time, I think of the committee members, if you have any comments to make in addition to, or any changes you would like to see made in that report, it would be a good opportunity to provide those back to Carolyn. Bill?
Carolyn, I had emailed you from my office one using the email provided to me. I'm not going to read it over the air, but I don't know. I checked and make sure that I actually hit send and it sent it. So I wanted to be noted that I did send a response to that email that was provided to me. So I don't know if it might be in a spam or something, but if you didn't get it, my apologies, but I showed that it was sent. So I didn't want it to know that I didn't respond back. So that's all I had.
Bill, did you have
Okay.
any additional comments or changes to the report as Carolyn just listed?
I didn't. I was satisfactory. I was fine with everything that was presented to me. So
Yeah, and Carolyn, to let you know, I also heard from Chief Sapp, who was unable to be at the meeting today due to a funeral, who said that the report as previously relayed was acceptable, and that's what I heard also from two other committee members, including Chief Person as well as Councilman Van Winkle. So. I think just maybe that a little bit of a lag in there was just getting that information to you that, hey, we're good with that. So now would be a great opportunity if anybody's got anything else to go ahead and bring that forward. Councilman Van Winkle?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Carolyn for her efforts and time for doing this for us. And to reiterate what you just said, as I had told you, that I had no concerns. I thought the financial reports were straightforward and had no concerns about where it stood on this for this first year, as well as to also say that my role as the liaison, I feel is more someone here to be a point of contact, go in both directions for the council and the committee, much more so than providing input. But if I'd seen something that was significant or a concern, I most definitely would have brought that forward. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. If there are no other comments, then I think probably the best thing would be is to approve the annual report. So Carolyn, would you agree? I mean, the rest of this committee, would you agree that that would probably be the appropriate thing, is for the committee to just approve the report and just let Carolyn know that that report is acceptable? And I think if it's helpful, maybe
Your mic went off.
I can't hear Alexa anymore.
No.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, it says it's not muted, but I have to hit the button off and on. It happens to me all the time. Andrea, what do you think about just calling on each person and they can say yay or nay? Carolyn, what thoughts on that?
do we need to
Sounds
make a
good to me.
motion to
Yep.
have this done? Because I'll make a motion if need be to
Martha can't hear us. She just chatted.
Oh.
Unless it was Alexa that she couldn't hear like all the rest of us.
Oh, that could be. Martha, can you hear now?
I'm only able to hear parts of the conversation.
Okay. So where we're at right now is that the report's been submitted. Bill Peaks made a motion. If one of the other committee members wants to go ahead and do a second, and then Andrea will call on all the committee members to vote to accept the annual report.
I'll second his motion.
Okay, that's Mark Graves.
What's that? Thank you. All right. Jane,
Aye.
Councilman Van Winkle,
Aye.
Marcia,
Aye.
Jane,
Aye.
Caroline,
Aye.
Martha, Martha, can you hear us now? I'll get her on the phone. Mark,
I vote aye if you can hear me.
thank you, got you.
Mark votes aye as well.
Okay, and Bill,
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you. The only other question that I would have of the committee is, how would you like to convey this information to the public? What do you think is the best method to do that? You could ask the city to share it on our Facebook page. You could all share it on your own, we could do it there and then you guys could share it from all of your own perspective Facebook. I'm open for ideas. I don't really have a plan.
I think it would be best to share it on the Facebook page and we could all share it on our own because
Okay,
it'd be too expensive to run an ad for it.
okay,
I think that, I mean, that's my personal opinion. I'd
okay.
be happy to share it
agree.
on my own Facebook page.
Okay,
I would think we
I
could
would-
do
I would agree.
Facebook. Sorry,
Okay.
I think we could do Facebook and then we could, if we wanted to reference them to the city's website, that way they could pull up any of those records if it's not already going to be there.
okay. So more than likely, we'll put an entry onto that that says at the direction of the Oversight Committee, the following report has been made. And that brings me to something else though, is that do all of you, since this is unanimously approved, do you want to sign that report? Or do you think your motion is adequate?
We talked at the last meeting
Yep.
about everybody signing the report coming up to City Hall, because I visited with Andrea about this when we were going back and forth on putting this report together, that we were we had talked about everybody signing the report
Mhm.
and having to come up there and putting all the signatures on it. I don't know how everybody feels about that now. I don't mind putting my signature to it. I mean, people are probably going to have something to say about it anyway, but I mean, we volunteered to be, me as a volunteer, volunteered to be on the committee, and I know how to block people on my Facebook page if they say anything or delete their comments, and
Okay. Chief Person?
I don't, logistically, I don't see that we all need to physically go sign because we have all voted unanimously. It'll be part of the record. These meeting minutes are being kept and they will be part of the official record on the city's records, as well as when we report this out, that it was unanimously voted on. And if we do that with the list of the members, there should not be a need for us to physically go to City Hall to sign it because our votes have all been recorded. So I think my personal opinion is if we all want to go sign it, that we can, but it's not necessary. We can put it on the Facebook page. It can be also sent out as a press release, and anyone that wants to pick it up and reprint it can do that then.
I agree with that.
Okay, Sheila?
I would like the committee to consider possibly asking the city to insert it in utility bills or something. I am worried about social media not getting to all voters. And I definitely think it's important for voters to understand that their money is being used and spent as was promised. And I do agree with Chief Person. Let's do a press release and possibly the newspapers will pick that up. But not all voters use social media, and not all voters read the newspaper. So
The only issue I have with that, like where I live in a senior apartment complex. We don't pay a water bill here, so we would never see anything like that. And a lot of the people, here again, they're not on social media, but we never get anything. I happen to be on Facebook, so I happen to see it, but we don't get a water bill here, so we wouldn't see anything in the water. I mean, you're never going to be able to hit everybody.
Yeah. So you can instruct staff to put it on Facebook. We would ask our communications firm to do a press release. And then also, what was the third one? Oh, and then the water bills. So if we do those three things, I think you guys have done everything you can to get the information out by today's standards. Is that okay?
I would like to add that the report is 5 pages long. Just keep that in mind when you're inserting it in a water bill.
Can we just still refer them to the website, the city's website? Is it going to be available on there? That way we don't have to worry about that lengthy paperwork.
Yeah. If you put 5 pages in the water bill, you're going to be paying extra postage.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
was considering putting the 1-page statement from the committee on one side, and on the second side, the financial report.
The report itself references 2 or 3 attachments. So we can do that as a front and back one sheet, but it will not be the complete report.
I can edit it a little bit and say, for more information, go to belton.org.
We will put the minutes online. We'll put the report online. It'll definitely be on your committee page that's on our website.
Okay. If that's okay, let's do it the opposite way. I think that those 3 measures is okay with everyone. If somebody's got a concern with that, if you could speak now.
I think Dan had that chat down there talking about just establishing a link to the website so that people can reference that instead of going through the fronts and the backs of everything. If you decide you want to put a brief statement and then reference that website or link, well, it's on the Facebook or whatever, obviously you're going to reference that on the your water or the utility bill for the website anyway. But as far as establishing a link on there, I think that would probably be sufficient. People may not get to the point of wanting to read much, and it'd be more of a waste of supplies and whatnot to do that. So,
Okay. Andrea, is that doable?
Yes, I can add it to our homepage. There's 3 tabs about midway down on our homepage, and one of those tabs is news, and I can add it to the news tab, and then it will link them to where the report is, which is on your committee page.
Perfect. Okay. And then anything else on those matters? If not, you've only got one other item on your agenda, and that's the next upcoming meeting, which is semi-annually or as needed, which would be in October 2020. So know that as we get closer to October, you'll be hearing from the city about what's a good appropriate date that you guys could meet. And we'll be going from there. We'll still continue to send out the monthly information as we have been. And if something comes up, don't hesitate to let any of us at City Hall know, and we'll try to accommodate as best we can. Okay.
Carolyn, thank you again for your work on this. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Okay, well, if not, I think your meeting's adjourned, and everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.